So in this part we will try to connect union with intersection. Okay, so suppose that, like, we guys are offering you guys, how many of you guys will have coffee? Okay, so you know that from your community some people will raise their hand for coffee. Okay, and then we are offering you guys, how many of you guys will consume tea? Okay, so you know that some of you guys will raise their hand for tea, and there will be some person who will go for both. Means this is a possibility, no? They may put their hands in both the scenarios. Okay, so suppose that if I will order, like, suppose in a class of 100 students, I have ordered, like, I need 70 tea and 90 coffee. So do you think that with this information they can try to find out the number of person in the classroom? No, it is not possible. If they will add, they will get 160, which is not the number of students. If they will subtract, we will have 20, which is again not the number of sets. Okay, so what we have to do, just try to connect with this explanation. So we guys are interested in finding the number of person in the set A union B. Okay, suppose that for time being I wrote NA plus NB, means we are writing number of person trying to consume tea, number of person trying to consume coffee. But you know that this equation is not balanced. Why, sir? Because if you are writing NA, you are trying to talk about this room, room number 1, and room number 2. And when you are writing N of B, you are talking about room 3 and again room 2. This means I am including the room 2 twice. You know that if we have to get the exact number of person, we have to put dot in every room, and the number of dots should be 1. So we have to remove one of the dot. Okay, so can I say that the room number 2 can be written as N of A intersection B? Okay, and if I'll write this thing, we will remove this part, and we will have one dot in every room. Okay, room number 1, room number 2. So this is the case. This you have to memorize when we have two sets. Now, how will you memorize this thing? So the idea is, you will write sum taken one at a time, means there will be one sets, means suppose it is set A, set B. So you will be writing one set at a time, NA plus NB. Then minus sum, first you have to write plus. Okay, so plus sum taken one at a time, sum taken one at a time, then minus sum taken two at a time, sum taken two at a time, then plus sum taken three at a time, and then minus, like you can proceed this thing, plus minus plus minus plus minus, sum taken one at a time, sum taken two at a time, sum taken three at a time. So this is about when the number of set is 2. Now let's move on to the next part of this series. They can give you 3 sets. Okay, suppose that, how many of you guys will go for tea, how many of you guys will go for coffee, And how many of you guys will go for samosa? Okay, so you know that there will be some person, means you have to draw this diagram all the time. Okay, so how will you write down this situation? Okay, mathematically. So what we have to do first, you know that we are interested in finding the number of person in A union B union C. Okay, now suppose that I wrote n of A plus n of B plus n of C. What does this means? Do you think this is the correct explanation? Hopefully not, because look at this. If I am writing n of A, this first set is representing A, second set is representing B, third set is representing C. So if I am talking about A, I am talking about the room this and this. If I am talking about room B, I am talking about room this and room this. If I'm talking about room C, I'm talking about room this, room this, and room this. You can observe that there are so many dots. There are so many dots in the given thing, and you also know that like we cannot have more than one dot in any room. So we have to get rid of some dots. So suppose that I want to remove dot from this room. So how we will respond? Just look at this. I'm talking about this room. Okay. So I will subtract n of A intersection B minus n of A intersection B. So suppose that I wrote this thing. So how many dots are being removed? One dot removed from here, one dot removed from here. Still there are so many unwanted dots. Minus n of B intersection C. What does this means? You will remove this dot, you will remove this dot. Minus n of A intersection C. Remove this dot, remove this dot. If you will observe, we have removed all the dots from this room. Okay, so we have to write down something, because we want one dot to be part in every rooms. So what we will do? We will add. Okay, so n of A intersection B intersection C. Okay, so try to recall my idea to write down the formula. Plus sum taken one at a time. Look at this. Plus sum taken one at a time. We have added individually. Then minus sum taken two at a time. On the right hand side you have to use intersection. On the left hand side you will be using union. Then sum taken three at a time. Okay, I hope till this part you guys are comfortable. Now whenever you will be solving questions from this department, always try to take help of Venn diagram. It will become much more convenient. Okay, and try to, whenever you are like substituting the values na, always initiate with this room. Okay, and also like try to understand the behavior of this room. Suppose that we have room this and room this. So they may ask you about exactly one of the three dishes, two of the three dishes, three of the three dishes, no dishes. So how will you answer those part? So first try to understand this thing. Suppose that the person who is staying in this room will be called as A. Correct? Same way the person who will stay in this room will be named as B. Okay? Suppose that the person who is staying in this room is C. Okay? So look at this. Suppose that I am staying in this room. So how many names do I have? You will call me by saying A only. Correct or wrong? Means I will have only one name. Now look at this room. How many names do I have? Only one. Okay? If I am staying in this room, how many names do I have? Only one name. Correct? Now look at this. If I am staying in this room, you can call me by naming A, or you can call me by naming as B. So I have two names. For this room, again two name A and C. है ना? Now this room B and C, again two name. Okay? So, and if I will be staying in this room, you can call me by three names A, B and C. So suppose that if I'll ask you, how many of you guys will have only tea? Suppose this is tea, this is coffee, this is samosa. So if I'll ask you, how many of you guys want to have tea only? So you will be focused in this room. The number of persons staying in this room will be the answer. Then I'll be asking you this question, how many of you guys will have coffee only? So you will be naming by this situation, how many of you guys will have samosa only? So you can answer this room. How many of you guys will answer that who will have samosa and coffee but not tea? So you can answer this thing. Okay? And then tea with samosa but not coffee, this room. Then tea with chai and no samosa, this room. Then all three things, this room. Okay, so answering question becomes more convenient if you will follow Venn diagram. Okay, I hope now from now onwards you guys can handle this situation. Okay, it is recommended that always go through Venn diagram. Okay, it helps you a lot. I hope the idea is clear.